Do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days, like picking up the books to read. Do something different, like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. And then he gave me another secret to success when he said, what you have at the moment, Mr. Rohn, you've attracted by the person you've become. What you have at the moment, you've attracted by the person you've become. Few little simple principles here. Once you understand these, it starts to explain so much. Now, sometimes it's a little tough to take, blaming yourself instead of the marketplace. Taking responsibility instead of putting it off on someone else. That transition sometimes is a challenging mission. And this one was a little tough for me. He said, Mr. Rohn, you've got pennies in your pocket, you've got nothing in the bank, the creditors are calling, you're behind on your promises. And he says, here's how that occurs. You've attracted, up until now, you've attracted the things to you because of the person you've become. Now I said, well, how can I change all that? He said, very simple. If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more. And then he said, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Start working on yourself, making these personal changes. And he said, it'll all change for you. Shoaff said, here's the secret, Mr. Rohn. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Once I got that, it turned my life around. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Wow. If you would have known me at age 25, you would have said, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. If you'd have known me, you'd have said that. I'm the guy, I don't mind coming a little bit early, staying a little bit late. I don't mind that. You'd have said, well, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. You say, well, how come he's got pennies in his pocket and nothing in the bank and behind on his promises? Well, I was a hard worker, but I was working hard on my job, not on myself. I'm telling you, if you'll learn that simple little principle and start the process today, latest tomorrow, give you tonight to think it over. And start this whole process of personal development, work on yourself, make yourself more valuable to the marketplace. I'm telling you, you can so dynamically change your income, and economics is the least of the values that you can start earning in terms of equity if you'll start working harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work hard on yourself and develop the skills. Work hard on yourself and develop the graces. All of the stuff necessary to become more valuable to the marketplace. I'm telling you, your whole life can explode into change. Promotions, no problem. Becoming more valuable to the company, I'm telling you, no problem. Money, no problem. Economics, no problem. Future, no problem. If you just go to work on the right thing. Not get things out there to change. Don't try to change the seed. Don't change the soil. Don't change the sunshine. Don't change the rain. Don't change the mix of seasons. Let the miracle of everything that's available work for you, and start working on the inside. Work on your philosophy. Work on your attitude. Work on your personality. Work on your language. Work on the gift of communication. Work on all of your abilities. And if you'll start making those personal changes, I'm telling you, everything will change for you. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue, chase, run after. Success is something you develop, something you become. You attract success. So the whole key to unlock all the treasures, whether it's economic treasures or spiritual treasures, financial, social, personal, every way you can possibly think of, is by your own personal development. And then he added one more, which is so important, and it's probably worth the price of the seminar. Here it is. What you become is much more valuable than what you get. what you become is much more valuable than what you get. The major question to ask on the job is not what am I getting here. The major question to ask on the job is what am I becoming here? Not what am I getting, what am I becoming? So it's very important what you become. Because what you become attracts. If you become cynical, you attract cynicism. What you become attracts. So this whole subject of personal development was so vitally important to me. It changed my life. I was a millionaire by age 31. And that was just the economic part of it. It took me 6 years from age 25 to age 31. It was unbelievable. Mr. Schoaf, over a 5-year period before he died at age 49, who taught me some extraordinarily simple things. He only went to the 9th grade in school, never finished high school, never went to college, never went to university. So he put his ideas and his experiences in very simple language, which I think for me, a kid from the farms of Idaho, that simplicity was so important. Because if it would have been technical, I'd have missed it. If it would have been mystic, I would have, backed away. But it was just basic, blunt, ABC, familiar stuff that I hadn't thought of before. And he did start to remind me, and those ideas changed my life. Mr. Schoaf was the one when I said, this is all they pay. He said, you've been working 6 years, Mr. Rohn, how come you're not doing better? And I said, this is all the company pays. He says, well, that's not true. I said, no, this is my paycheck. This is all the company pays. He said, no, this is all the company pays you. I thought, that's a new way to look at it, right? He said, doesn't the company pay 2, 3, 4, 5 times this amount to other people? I said, well, yes. He said, well, then this is not all the company pays. It's all they pay you. And if you qualified, wouldn't your income grow 2, 3, 4, 5 times? I said, I suppose. So he said, we don't have to work on the company. We have to work on you. See, that was the beginning of what he called the phrase personal development. I told him things cost too much. He said, no, you can't afford them. I thought, well, that's a new concept. I hadn't thought about that. We put some of the valuable things on the high shelf, so you can't get to them until you qualify. If you want the things on the higher shelf, you got to stand on the books you read. Every book you read, you get to stand a little higher so you can get the things on the higher shelf. See, I learned those concepts. It was so incredible. And here was the most important one. Success is something you attract by the person you become. See, that phrase changed my life. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. It's like chasing a butterfly. You can't quite catch it. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. See, those were new concepts to me. I'm just working hard trying to make a living. Here's what he said to me. This changed my life. I got a chance to teach this in Moscow and across Russia. 3 visits, now the 4th. Here's what Schoaf taught me. Profits are better than wages. Nobody taught me that in high school. Nobody taught me that. I went to 1 year of college. Nobody taught me. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living. Profits make you a fortune. And how could you work on both a living and a fortune? He said, well, you could start part-time working on your fortune while you're working full-time on your living. I thought, wow. Now, he said, it's fun to get up in the morning. Not just getting up, go to work to pay the rent, but to get up to go to work to make a fortune. First, to make a living for my family. Second, to make a fortune. And he taught me how to make both a living and a fortune. Guess what I did? I learned how to make both a living and a fortune. And I found out anybody could do it once they get the information. And at age 25, I started receiving this extraordinary information. Here's what he said. Your income is directly related to your philosophy, not to the economy. I thought, no one ever told me that. I kept hoping the economy would change. He said, no, your philosophy has to change. I assured him that I had my fingers crossed. He said, that won't help. Then what could I do to change my income and multiply it by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10, and then multiply it by 10 again? What could I do? And he started giving me the disciplines and the process of learning the skills to change my life. This was an extraordinary man. Those were extraordinary times for me, life-changing in every manner that you can imagine, but very simple ABC concepts. Here's what I learned. Not to search for the exotic until you've discovered the basic. And those basic philosophies that he shared with me during that time were life-changing. Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to start life change that can change your life, your personality, your lifestyle, everything can change. Here's the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. The first key to doing better is find out. To change your life, really, you need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. And Schoaf taught me the major problem is lack of an idea, not a problem. At first, I didn't have any money. I said to Mr. Schoaf, I don't have any money. He said, that's not a problem. Now, see, up until then, I always thought it was. Right? I was confused. He said, no, the problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It isn't lack of money, it's lack of ideas. So if you get the ideas, see, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of finding out. Now, Schoaf also said, when you find out something that works, put the information in your journal. Don't use your head for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it. And if you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. But capture the ideas in your journal. Find out how things work. Schoaf gave me this word for my life change. He said, study. Great word. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people just go through the day with their fingers crossed. See, that won't do it. You've got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, personal life. Now, here's a qualifying phrase. And we'll have several of these qualifying phrases throughout the seminar. Here's the first one. You may not be able to do all you find out. I understand that. You may not be able to do all you find out, but you should find out all you can do. See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, for lack of information. So that's number 1, find out how things work. Now, here's the best human virtue for finding out. Curiosity. Make a note of that. Curiosity. Be curious. You might add a word to it that'll help. Childish curiosity. What will kids do if they want to know something bad enough? Bug you. That's the phrase. They can ask 1,000 questions. You think they're through? They got another 1,000. They'll drive you to the brink. It's a virtue. When you gotta know, be like a child. Now, if you're curious, let me give you 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Any life direction, any dimension. Here's 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Number 1 is to read. Become a good reader. All of the successful people I know and work with around the world, they're all good readers. Curiosity drives them to read. They got to know. They just read. Become a good reader. Now, that's my opinion. Listen to the other lecturers and listen to me and make up your own mind. Don't be a follower. Be a student. Okay? I say, really, for life change, you got to read. One way to learn is from your own experiences, but another way to learn is from other people's experiences. See, one book might save you 5 years if you read it. Did you know there's books on how to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, have a better effect on other people, develop your personality? Did you know there's books on that? And people don't read them? How would you explain that? And they can read. Did you know that hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books and they wrote down how they did it and people don't read it? How would you explain that? The guy's busy, I guess. You know, you get tied up. The guy says, well, yeah, you work where I work, but the time you struggle home, it's late. You got to eat a bite of supper, watch a little TV, get to bed. You can't sit up half the night reading. And the guy's behind on his car payment. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere and work hard. Otherwise, at the end of your life, you'll wind up cold, stony broke. You got to be better than a good worker. You got to be a good reader. My opinion. Now, you don't have to read half the night. Okay? Although if you're broke, that's not a bad place to start, right? Get on with the cure. But put this in your notes, 30 minutes a day. Just devote 30 minutes a day to reading. Stretch it to an hour if you can. But at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day. Read something positive, something challenging, something inspirational, something instructional. At least 30 minutes a day. And here's the next clue. Every day. Don't miss. Once you set this up, just don't miss. Miss a meal, but not your 30 minutes. Because you can get along without some meals, but you can't get along without some books. There's a Bible phrase that says humans cannot live on bread alone or just food. It says the next most important thing to food is words. Words nourish the mind, makes us different than animals and dogs. Words nourish the soul. So humans have to have food and words in order to be happy and healthy. I told my staff the other day, some people read so little, they've got rickets of the mind. They're undernourished mentally. So to get a good diet of words, I suggest good reading habits, 30 minutes a day. Now, some people don't read because they don't read well. I understand that. And the national average is fairly poor. People have fairly poor reading skills. They're still trying to operate on awkward old skills of the past, right? Reading one word at a time. And with such poor skills, when you read, the mind usually wanders. Because you can think about a lot of things. The mind is an incredible mechanism. And if you read poorly, the mind wanders around thinking of other things while you're trying to read. Did you ever read a page and wonder what it said? Right? Say, I got to read that again. Right? That's because the mind is just doing this job, right? Just wandering around. Did you ever read yourself to sleep? See, that's another problem. The mind says, who needs this? Just shuts off, right? Poor skills. Or a guy looks at a book, 500 pages, and says, no use starting, right? I mean, I'd never get through this one. Anyway, in our weekend seminar, we take a whole section, about 2-3 hours, and we go through reading skills. How to read a book a day is the title of that subject. And I'll tell you what, if you can read a book a day, it'll change your whole life. I mean, a book a day will change your whole life. Expose yourself to a whole variety of things. Spiritual, moral, personal, economic, history, geography, everything. I mean, you can really change if you read a book a day. So you might want to attend the weekend, get in on those reading class skills. It's incredible. A book a day will change your life. But hey, whether you read slow or fast, or whether you read awkwardly or whether you read well, here's the key. Read. Don't miss. Here's what reading is. Reading is tapping the treasure of ideas. That's what reading is. Tapping the treasure of ideas. And ideas can change any part of your life. And if you've got a good excuse not to tap the treasure of ideas at least 30 minutes a day, or spend the money and get the books, I'd love to hear it. Some people have excuses you wouldn't believe. I say, John, look, I got this gold mine. I got so much gold, I don't know what to do with it all. Come on over and dig. John says, I ain't got a shovel. I say, well, John, get you one. He says, you know what they want for shovels? Let me give you the two books that started my library at age 25. My library now is worth many, many, many thousands of dollars, but it started with two books. Mr. Schoaf recommended these to me, got me started. Schoaf said, become self-educated. He said, standard education will get you standard results. And you can check those numbers and see if that's what you want. But if you want to go beyond that, you now have got to become self-educated. So he got me started on my library. He said, one of the ways is build your library. Now, I had a Bible, right? That was 66 books, so that's a pretty good deal. But here's what else he recommended. He said, number one, get the book, Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich, if you don't already have it. The title should intrigue you. Think and Grow Rich. I found that book in a secondhand bookstore. I paid 47 cents for it. I've still got it. It's one of the rare hardback covers. I read it several dozen times. Schoaf taught me repetition is the mother of skill. Some of the ideas in that book helped to change my life. As I look back on it now, the book was worth several $100,000, and I bought it for 47 cents. What a lesson I learned, the difference between cost and value. Before I met Mr. Schoaf, I used to ask, how much does it cost? After I met Mr. Schoaf, I asked, how much is it worth? I started basing my life on worth instead of cost, and everything changed. But that was book one, Think and Grow Rich. The second book he recommended I get was a book on nutrition. Schoaf said, study nutrition. I think that first book was by Adele Davis. Eat Right to Keep Fit, I think. I've got lots of them now, but I think that was the first one. Schoaf said study nutrition, and there's all kinds of books on nutrition. Just read them all. Some are a little weird, but read them all. Right? If you're weird, do the weird stuff. I mean, whatever. But read them, then make up your own mind. Remember, don't read and become a follower. Read and become a student. Make up your mind, find a plan that works good for you, but get the books on nutrition. Here's what Mr. Schoaf said to me. Vitality plays an important part in doing well. Vitality. He said some people don't do well because they don't feel well. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's that they're ill. They don't have the zing and the fire and the vitality to do well. So he put it right on me about studying nutrition. He said, Jim, you wouldn't believe it. He said, I got this friend of mine raises racehorses. The guy's got 9 books on how to feed horses. He does not have a book on how to feed himself. He said, my friend studies horse nutrition. Studies it. Vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, protein, amino acids, carbohydrates, fats, enzymes, proper balance for his horses. Schoaf said, he's a fanatic. And he said, you ought to see his horses. They're magnificent, beautiful, powerful animals. They can run like the wind. And he said, you ought to see him. He's a wreck. He said, the guy feeds his horses better than he feeds himself. Do you believe that? In my later studies, I discovered Some people feed their dogs better than they feed their kids, if you can believe that. Anyway, I didn't mean to give you a health lecture here tonight, okay? But hey, take care of yourself. Work on that part, because it's one of the answers to doing well. There's even a Bible phrase that says, many times the spirit is willing, but the body's weak. Now see, you're in trouble. And that is a problem. You wake up in the morning and the mind says, let's go get them. And the body says, I can't even get out of bed. So you got to work on both sides of this, right? Okay. But get your library started. Get the books. Put it together. Books are the trademark of civilization. It's fascinating to walk into someone's home and browse through their library, because your library says something about you. So put your reading together. Very important. Here's the second way to find out how to change your life, and that's to listen. Get around successful people and listen. Now, you can also learn from unsuccessful people. Take notes on both, negative and positive. On the negative, the notes are called what not to do. And you got to learn what not to do as well as what to do. So learn from the negative as well as the positive. Okay? Find out what poor people read and don't read it. Right? That's good information. Learn from the negative. But now you can also learn from the positive. Get around successful people. Listen to what they say. Listen to how they say it. It's important. We've all got about 16 waking hours. Practice listening those 16 hours. And I say practice listening because listening isn't easy. I found out it's easier to talk than it is to listen. But if you will practice listening the 16 hours you're awake, sure enough, from surprising sources comes great ideas. In sales training we teach, if you want to learn sales, listen to the kids. Kids have got to be the master salespeople of all time. They have no equal. Father tells his young son, no, you cannot have an ice cream cone. 30 minutes later, he's licking on one. That'd be 30 minutes worth listening to. They got moves you wouldn't believe. Persistence runs deep like the ocean. And the kids never took a class on how to overcome objections. They already know how. They don't need classes. So listen and learn. Now, here's some of the best advice I've got for the whole evening. It won't get any better than this. This is it. Poor people ought to take rich people out to dinner and listen. That's some of the best I got. If a guy's not doing well, one of the first things he ought to do is find a guy that is doing well and offer to buy him his dinner. Spend $50, $60, $80, $100. Go for the full 9 course. Start him on the juices and hors d'oeuvres. Get him started talking. The salad takes 15 minutes. Keep it rolling. Biggest steak in town takes 45. Keep it rolling. Pour on the dessert. Stretch that meal out about 2 hours. If you get a successful person to eat and talk for 2 hours, they're liable to drop ideas in your lap, change your life. Multiply your income by 2, by 3, by 5. But you're right. Poor people don't usually take rich people out to dinner. That's the problem. The guy said he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not coming up with any money. And he says, besides, you work where I work. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You're lucky to get your own supper, let alone running around trying to find a rich man to feed. And the guy's behind on his house payment. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere. Work hard. You wind up broke. You got to be better than a good worker. You got to be a good listener. And remember, what you read and what you hear, put the good stuff in your journal. Now, here's the third way to find out how to change your life, and that's to observe. You can pick up a lot of ideas just by watching. Get around successful people and watch. Here's why. Success leaves clues. Watch how the man shakes hands. Watch how the lady responds. People who do well do certain things over and over and over and over. And if you're clever, you can pick them up. Watch it all. If a guy's making $10,000 a month, I'd watch how he walks. Maybe that's it. Copy his funny little walk. Somebody says, well, that's kind of a silly walk. Say, it's 10,000. I haven't got the money yet, but I got the walk. It's bound to start somewhere. What I ask you tonight is to be unusual and be a good observer of what's going on. You can pick up ideas that can change your life starting tomorrow. Just be a more careful observer. Now remember, there's two ways to see. One is called sight. See with your eyes. The other one is called insight. See with your mind. See with your eyes, you'll see things. See with your mind, you'll see answers. Put your eyes and your mind to work. And the best advice on developing sight and insight is pay attention. Don't miss anything. In the weekend seminar we teach, one of the greatest fatalities to success is preoccupation, lack of concentration. The guy's mind wanders. See, you wind up average. You've got to learn to zero in and concentrate. I read a good article one time, Reader's Digest. The title was, Wherever You Are, Be There. Excellent. Don't miss anything. Now, we've lingered a little bit long on number one here for personal development. Find out how things work, but it's so very important finding out. And I've given you 3 ways to find out. Now, here's the second step to personal development. Okay, number 1 was find out how things work. Here's number 2, go to work. You must now take action on what you found out. In doing business around the world, we call it game plan. Put together your game plan. One of the major things we teach on the weekend seminars, game plans. How to game plan your office. If you're in sales, you need a game plan. Kids need a game plan. You need a home game plan, social game plan, a business game plan. Everybody needs game plans. Financial independence game plan, your investment game plan. Don't think in your head. Put it on paper. Don't operate out of your mind. Operate from paper. I often ask somebody, what are you going to do the next 6 months? And somebody starts to tell me. I say, no, don't tell me. Show me. Show me your game plan for the next 6 months. Then I can look at things and maybe I can help. But you got to operate from paper. Put it on a game plan. Take action on what you found out. Now here's the best word I know of to go with action. Massive. See, that'll change everything. Massive action is called the cure-all. If you're going to make calls, make a few thousand. If you're going to make contacts, make a few thousand. If you're going to knock on doors, knock on a few thousand. See, that'll change everything. Here's the language of the poor. I'll try it a time or two and see what happens. It's the way poor people talk. The guy says, well, I'll give it 30 days. 30 days. You could guess his bank balance. You've got to have a better game plan. So here's one of the major things to do starting tomorrow. Take a look at your game plan. If it isn't loaded with massive action, change it tomorrow. Action. The formula really works like this. Pick up a good idea, take heavy action. Pick up a couple of good ideas, take heavy action. That's the formula for success. Heavy action. It's a good thing we can edit all this, right? The formula for success, take heavy action on a good idea. right? That's the ratio. Now here's the key. Don't wait till you've learned 2,000 or 3,000 things. Because that way you'll use up all the time. And you could wind up smart and broke. And hey, it's okay to be dumb and broke. But if a guy's smart and broke, that's pitiful. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. You'll become a fool. Let your learning lead to action. You can become wealthy. And there's many kinds of wealth. I understand that. Not just money. Money's one of the least of all values. I know some people with a lot of money that are very poor. Evita sings, as for fortune and as for fame, they are illusions. They're not the solutions they promise to be. So there's all kinds of wealth, but to get a big share coming your way, you've got to have a heavy action game plan. Now, here's the third step to personal development, and we'll wrap up personal development. Step number 3, it's just a little caution, and all through life we need little cautions. This one simply says, don't try to beat the system. Find out how it works, work it, but don't try to beat it. Some people learn just enough to start slicing it, shading it, thinning it, cutting corners, and looking for cheap answers. See, don't fall for that. You'll wind up with a cheap life. Find out how it works best and do it that way. Even though it seems to take a little longer, do it right. Don't compromise with right. Now, under this step, here's another key. Be a quick learner. Don't let it take long to teach you. Learn quick. Don't run at the wall too many times. Learn quicker. One guy said he broke his nose 7 times in the same place. Somebody says, looks like you'd stay out of that place. Learn quicker. Now, the third point here is don't be stubborn. See, some people won't change even when a better way comes. They say, well, I've been doing it this way 30 years. Hey, be ready for change. If it's a better way, go for it. But don't try to beat it. Or you'll be like the guy that went to Las Vegas. He didn't have much money. So he didn't want to risk his money gambling. But he gets to Las Vegas and the jackpot bells are ringing. The money's flowing. The lights are flashing. And he can't help himself. He's got to gamble. But instead of gambling with his cash, he decides to play the mental gambling game. And the brilliant scheme he worked out goes like this. He'd pick a number like number 3. Mentally, he would bet a certain amount of money on the number. And whether it won or lost, he would jot down that amount in his little pad. I would have won $5 if I'd have made that bet, just to keep track of it, win or lose. That way, come midnight, he can calculate how he's doing, win or loser, how much, only not his money. Keep his money. Just play this mental gambling game. So here he is around the gambling table, everybody else shelling out their hard-earned cash. He's got this brilliant scheme. Instead of betting with his money, he's betting with his mind, and he lost his mind. Which means don't try to beat the system, I guess. Let's talk about some more parts of personal development. Here's the first one. Physical. The physical side. Got to take care of yourself. Do not neglect to take care of yourself. Good phraseology used in the Bible, in my amateur way, but let me put it to you best I can. Here's what it says. Treat your body like a temple. That's a good phrase, good suggestion. A temple meaning something you take extremely good care of. A temple. That's a good phrase. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. A temple. A temple. Take good care. It's the only place you've got to live currently. The temple. Nutrition. My mother studied nutrition, passed it along to me, passed it along to my father, my children, my grandchildren. What a legacy that was. Learning to just take care of yourself. Key phrase. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. They've got the gifts, they've got the skills. Maybe they just haven't taken care of themselves. They don't have the vitality. Key phrase. Vitality is a major part of success. Vitality. So take care of yourself. I know a guy that raises racehorses. I'm telling you, the guy feeds his horses better than he feeds himself. He's so careful how he feeds his horses. He's so careful what they eat. He's so careful that they get everything. And because of that extreme care, I mean, these are magnificent animals. They can run like the wind. But you ought to see this guy. 10 steps up a flight of stairs, and I mean, he's all out of breath. His horses can run like the wind, and he can hardly make it up the steps. The guy takes care of his animals better than he takes care of himself. Some people feed their dogs better than they feed their kids. Physical. Now, there's all kinds of parts to physical. Here's one. Appearance is part of the physical. Never have a second chance to make a first impression. Physical side. And here's some of the best advice on appearance I can give you. Comes from ancient script again. It says, God looks on the inside, people look on the outside. Isn't that good information? Now you say, well, people shouldn't judge you by how you look. Well, let me give you a clue. They do. They do. You can't deal in these shoulds and shouldn'ts. You'll be tipped over the rest of your life. Now, of course, when people get to know you, they'll judge you by more than what they see. But at first, they're going to take a look. So, here's the best advice I can give you. Make sure the outside is a major reflection of what's going on inside. The physical side. A few minutes a day, stay healthy. A little bit of study on nutrition, stay healthy. Key. Now here's the next part of personal development, the spiritual part. I'm an amateur on the spiritual side. I do happen to believe that human beings are more than just an advanced life form. An advanced species of the animal kingdom. I do believe humans are a special creation. That's just my personal belief, and I don't ask you to buy it. But here's what I do ask you to buy. If you do believe in spirituality in any manner, here's my best advice. Study it and practice it. Do not neglect your values. Do not neglect your virtues. If you do believe in spirituality, my advice is study it and practice it. Don't let it go unstudied. Don't let it go unnourished, if you do believe. That's my best advice on the spiritual side. Now here's the third part. The mental side. Part of this personal development challenge is to develop mentally. Learn, study, grow, change. It's what schooling is all about. And the human development takes time, incredible amounts of time. That's why we've taken the time for this seminar. It just takes time. Some things you can't cover in a 20-minute speech. You can't cover in a little 5-minute talk. It takes time. For humans, it seems like more time than any other life form, human beings. The little wildebeest in Africa. Guess how much time it's got as soon as it's born to be able to run with the pack so it doesn't get eaten by the lions? Guess how much time it's got? A few minutes. Not hours, not days, minutes. Wow. But the human baby, wow. After 16 years, we're not sure. Right? Unbelievable amount of time it takes. So it does take time for personal development. It does take time for spiritual development, physical development. But here's also what takes time, and that's your mental development. Feeding the mind. Nourishing the mind. Some people read so little, they got rickets of the mind. They couldn't give you a good, strong argument as to their own personal beliefs. I'm telling you got to be able to pick up those ideologies. You got to be able to pick up the philosophy. And here's the next part. You got to be able to defend it. If you can't defend your virtues and if you can't defend your values, I'm telling you, even in the 90s, you'll fall prey to philosophies that are not in your best interest. And we've got to help our teenagers, we've got to help our kids especially to be able to debate the major life issues, the political issues and the social issues and the religious issues and the spiritual issues and the nutritional issues and the economic issues and all of the rest of the issues that are valuable for us to build the kind of equities we want. You got to get yourself ready. And one of the ways you got to get ready is not just physical and not just spiritual. You got to get ready mentally. And this is where Schoaf went to work on me, to be ready mentally, to develop the philosophy and also be able to defend your virtues and your values.
Welcome, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk about something that has the power to transform not just moments, but entire lives. It's the cornerstone of success, the secret ingredient that colors our experiences, shapes our journeys, and defines our legacy. I'm talking about attitude. Specifically, developing a winning attitude. Think about this for a moment. Life is a series of events, like a string of pearls. Each event is neutral until we color it with our attitude. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. A winning attitude, then, is about seeing the glass as half full, finding opportunities in obstacles, and understanding that our greatest setbacks are often disguised as our most significant opportunities. Now let's clear the air about what a winning attitude is not. It's not about wearing rose-colored glasses or dismissing challenges. Rather, it's an inner conviction, a mindset that says, I can navigate through this, learn from this, and emerge stronger. It's about facing life with the courage to stand firm in the storm and the resilience to smile through the rain. Consider the difference between an oak and a willow. The oak stands rigid, often breaking under strong winds, while the willow bends and sways, remaining intact. A winning attitude is like the willow, flexible, adaptable, resilient. It's about bending but not breaking under the weight of life's challenges. This attitude is a choice, a deliberate cultivation of a mindset that seeks out the silver lining in every dark cloud. It's about choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems, progress instead of perfection. It's understanding that while we may not control every event that happens to us, we absolutely control how we respond to these events. So, as we embark on this journey today, remember that developing a winning attitude is not a destination. It's a continuous journey, a daily practice. It's about making small, consistent choices that gradually shape our worldviews, influence our actions, and ultimately determine the course of our lives. In the words of a wise person, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let's cast aside those doubts and step forward with a winning attitude that paves the way for success, happiness, and fulfillment. Let's begin this journey together, exploring how we can cultivate this powerful mindset, one that can turn adversity into opportunity, despair into hope, and dreams into reality. As we move forward in our discussion, let's gently shift our focus to a deeper understanding of attitude. It's a term we often hear, but what does it truly mean? Attitude is not just a mental position regarding facts or state. It's the very backbone of our every action and reaction. It's that invisible force that shapes our entire life experience. Let's picture attitude as the architect of our personal world. Just as an architect draws plans that determine the structure of a building, our attitude shapes the structure of our life experiences. It dictates how we interpret and respond to life's events. Two people can face the same situation, but their attitudes can lead them down vastly different paths. One sees a setback, the other an opportunity. It's the same situation, just viewed through different lenses. Now consider the power choice in this context. We often can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose our attitude towards what happens. It's this choice that determines whether an obstacle becomes a stepping stone or a stumbling block. This is the essence of a winning attitude, choosing to find that silver lining, no matter how hidden it may seem. But how do we cultivate such an attitude? It starts with self-awareness. Knowing ourselves, our tendencies, our default reactions allows us to catch ourselves when we're slipping into negativity. It's like being a gardener in the garden of your mind, carefully tending to your thoughts, weeding out the negative ones and nurturing the positive ones. A winning attitude also requires a firm belief in oneself. It's about trusting your journey, believing in your capabilities, and understanding that you are the captain of your ship. This belief isn't about arrogance. It's about a quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you have the power to shape your life. Another key aspect is resilience. Life, as we know, is not a straight path. It's filled with ups and downs, twists and turns. A winning attitude embraces these as part of the journey, learning from each experience, growing stronger with each challenge. It's about bouncing back, not giving up, and knowing that every setback is setting the stage for a comeback. Let's also consider the role of positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties, but rather choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems, on hope rather than despair. It's about seeing the glass half full, knowing that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. Empathy and understanding play a significant role too. A winning attitude is not just about how we view ourselves, but also how we view and treat others. It's about understanding that everyone has their struggles and that kindness can make all the difference. It's about extending a hand, offering a word of encouragement, and being that positive force in someone else's life. This not only uplifts others, but also enriches our own lives, creating a cycle of positivity and goodwill. Moreover, a winning attitude involves embracing change. Change is constant, and how we respond to it shapes our journey. It's about being adaptable, open to new ideas, and ready to step out of our comfort zones. It's in these moments of change that we often find our greatest growth. Patience is another cornerstone of a winning attitude. Things don't always happen as quickly as we'd like, and dreams don't materialize overnight. Patience means understanding that every step, no matter how small, is a step towards our goal. It's about enjoying the journey, not just the destination. Gratitude also plays a crucial role. It's about appreciating what we have rather than lamenting what we don't. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It brings a sense of satisfaction and peace, which is essential for a positive outlook on life. In essence, developing a winning attitude is about cultivating these qualities and making them a part of who we are. It's a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of self-reflection, growth, and learning. Every day presents a new opportunity to strengthen our attitude and, in turn, strengthen our approach to life. As we continue to explore this topic, let's carry with us the understanding that our attitude is one of the most powerful tools we have. It shapes our perceptions, influences our actions, and ultimately molds our destiny. With a winning attitude, we can turn challenges into opportunities, setbacks into comebacks, and dreams into realities. Let's embrace this journey with an open heart and a determined spirit, ready to unlock the full potential of a winning attitude. As we continue our exploration into the realm of attitude, it's fascinating to turn our gaze to the past. History is not just a collection of dates and events. It's a rich tapestry woven with stories of individuals who have demonstrated winning attitudes in the face of adversity. These stories aren't just tales from the past. They are lessons, guiding lights that show us the power of a positive, resilient mindset. Take the story of Abraham Lincoln, for example. Here was a man who faced defeat throughout his life. He lost 8 elections, failed twice in business, and suffered a nervous breakdown. Yet he never gave up. Instead, he chose to persevere, driven by a deep belief in his principles and a vision for his country. In 1860, this yielding spirit led him to become one of the most respected presidents of the United States. His journey reminds us that failure isn't the end of the road. It's just a stepping stone to success. Then there's the story of Helen Keller, struck by illness at a young age. She was left blind and deaf. In a world of silence and darkness, she could have succumbed to despair. But with the help of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, Helen embraced her challenges. She learned to communicate, went on to college, and became an influential author and speaker. Her life is a testament to the fact that limitations exist only in our mind. Consider also the journey of Thomas Edison. This man, known as one of the greatest inventors, faced numerous failures. His most famous invention, the light bulb, took thousands of attempts before it was successful. Yet he didn't see these as failures. In his words, he found thousands of ways that didn't work, which brought him closer to the way that would. Edison's story is a powerful reminder that perseverance and a positive attitude are key ingredients to success. We must also remember the resilience of Nelson Mandela. Imprisoned for 27 years for fighting against apartheid, he could have emerged with bitterness and vengeance. Instead, he came out with a message of reconciliation and hope, leading his nation towards a path of forgiveness and unity. Mandela's life teaches us the power of forgiveness and the strength of a positive spirit in overcoming even the most daunting challenges. Another inspiring figure is Malala Yousafzai, a young girl from Pakistan who stood up for the right to education in the face of violent opposition. Even after surviving an assassination attempt, she didn't back down. Her unwavering commitment to her cause earned her the Nobel Peace Prize, making her a symbol of courage and the power of a positive attitude in creating change. These historical figures from different times and places all share one common trait, a winning attitude. They faced obstacles, some seemingly insurmountable, yet they chose to respond with resilience, positivity, and determination. Their stories are not just accounts of the past. They are blueprints for our own lives. They show us that no matter what we face, we have the power within us to overcome and succeed. Their lives remind us that winning attitude isn't about never facing difficulties. It's about how we choose to respond to those difficulties. It's about seeing beyond the present challenge, holding on to our vision, and moving forward with unshakable faith and determination. As we reflect on these stories, let's draw inspiration from them. Let's understand that our circumstances do not define us. Our attitudes do. Let's choose to face life with the same courage, resilience, and positivity as these remarkable individuals. In doing so, we honor their legacy and build our own paths to success and fulfillment. To understand what shapes a winning attitude, let's explore its key components. These elements are like the ingredients in a recipe, each one essential, contributing to the overall flavor of success. The first component is positivity. Positivity is not about ignoring life's problems, but about facing them with the right mindset. It's about seeing the glass half full, finding the silver lining in every cloud, and knowing that even in the darkest moments, this doesn't mean you won't have bad days or feel negative emotions. It means choosing to focus on the good, even when it's hard to find. Next, let's talk about self-belief. Believing in yourself is crucial. It's about trusting your abilities, valuing your own worth, and knowing that you are capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving your goal. Self-belief doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from a quiet confidence that you can handle whatever life throws your way. Resilience is another vital component. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to rise after falling, and to keep going when things get tough. Life is full of ups and downs, and resilience is what helps you navigate through them without losing your way. It's about having the grit to persevere even when the odds seem stacked against you. Adaptability plays a key role too. In a world that's constantly changing, being able to adapt is essential. It's about being flexible, open to new ideas, and willing to change course when necessary. Adaptability means not being so rigid in your ways that you can't see new opportunities or learn new things. Empathy and compassion are also part of a winning attitude. It's about understanding and caring for others, recognizing that everyone has their struggles, and choosing kindness. This isn't just about being nice. It's about building strong, meaningful relationships that enrich your life and the lives of others. Then there's gratitude, being grateful for what you have, for the people in your life, and for the opportunities you are given, even the small ones, is powerful. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It brings a sense of contentment and peace, which is essential for maintaining a positive outlook. Let's not forget about responsibility. It's about taking charge of your life, owning your choices, and understanding that your decisions have consequences. It's realizing that you are the architect of your fate and accepting the power and responsibility that comes with that. Curiosity and a love for learning are also important. The world is a fascinating place, full of wonders and mysteries. Having a desire to learn and grow, to understand more about the world and yourself, keeps you moving forward. It keeps your mind active and your spirit young. Courage is undoubtedly a part of this mix. It's about facing your fears, taking risks, and stepping out of your comfort zone. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you act despite your fear. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when it's hard. Lastly, there's integrity. It's about being honest, doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, and staying true to your values. Integrity is the cornerstone of a winning attitude. Without it, nothing else stands. These components, when woven together, create a fabric of character that stands strong against the winds of change and challenge. A winning attitude isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time, through experiences, through your choices, and through your actions. As we ponder these components, let's remind ourselves that developing a winning attitude is within our reach. It's a conscious choice, a deliberate effort to cultivate these qualities in our lives. Each day offers a new opportunity to strengthen these components, to build ourselves up, and to move one step closer to the person we want to become. So, let's embrace this journey with open hearts and minds, knowing that each step we take in developing these components is a step towards a richer, more fulfilling life. Let's commit to being the best version of ourselves, armed with a winning attitude that can turn dreams into reality. Towards a winning attitude, a crucial step is overcoming negative mindsets. These are the mental barriers that hold us back, the shadows that darken our path to success. Let's explore how we can break free from these chains of negativity. First, it's important to recognize that negative mindsets often stem from our past experiences and the stories we tell ourselves about these experiences. These stories might say, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve success. But remember, these are just stories, not truths. The power to rewrite these narratives lies within us. One effective way to overcome a negative mindset is to practice mindfulness. This means being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts and feelings, but not overwhelmed by them. It's about observing our negative thoughts without judgment and then gently guiding our mind back to a place of positivity and peace. Another key strategy is to cultivate a habit of positive self-talk. The words we use have immense power. Instead of saying, "I can't try, I'll try," replace "it's impossible" with "it's challenging, but I can overcome it." This shift in language can transform our mindset and open us to new possibilities. Attitude plays a significant role too. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention from what we lack to what we have. This shift in focus can have a profound impact on our overall outlook on life. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the things you're thankful for, no matter how small. Let's also look at the power of surrounding ourselves with positivity. The people we spend time with can influence our mindset. Seek out those who uplift you, encourage you, and believe in you. Their positive energy can help dispel the clouds of negativity. We should also embrace the lessons in our failures. Every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of beating ourselves up when things go wrong, let's ask, what can I learn from this? This approach turns failures into stepping stones towards success. Taking care of our physical health is also vital in overcoming a negative mindset. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and adequate sleep can significantly improve our mood and outlook on life. Setting realistic goals and celebrating small victories can also help shift a negative mindset. By setting achievable targets and acknowledging our progress, we reinforce a positive outlook and build confidence in our abilities. Let's not forget the power of service to others. Helping others can provide a new perspective, take us out of our own heads, and make us feel good about ourselves. It's a reminder that we have value and that we can make a positive impact on the world. Lastly, patience is key. Overcoming a negative mindset doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires time, effort, and persistence. Be kind to yourself during this process and recognize that every step forward is progress. One of the most empowering things we can do is to cultivate a winning attitude every day. This isn't a once-in-a-while endeavor. It's a daily commitment, a choice we make each morning when we wake up. Let's explore how we can embed this winning attitude into the fabric of our daily lives. It begins the moment we open our eyes each morning. How we start our day often sets the tone for the hours that follow. Instead of jumping out of bed in a rush, take a few moments to set your intentions. What do you want to achieve today? How do you want to feel? This simple act of pausing and planning can steer your day in a positive direction. Another key element is practicing gratitude. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to overlook the blessings we have. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, the smile of a loved one, or the comfort of your home. Acknowledging these small joys can shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Positive self-talk is also crucial. Be mindful of the words you use with yourself throughout the day. Replace critical or negative thoughts with affirming and encouraging ones. When you catch yourself slipping into self-doubt, gently remind yourself of your strengths and achievements. Remember, the way you talk to yourself matters. Setting small, achievable goals daily can also foster a winning attitude. These don't have to be monumental tasks. Something as simple as completing a work project, going for a walk, or even reading a chapter of a book count. The satisfaction of ticking off these tasks can give you a sense of accomplishment and propel you forward. It's also important to maintain a learner's mindset. Be open to new experiences and willing to learn from them. Each day brings new opportunities to grow and learn. Whether it's a new skill, a piece of knowledge, or an insight into your own character, embrace the learning process. Exercise and physical activity play a vital role in cultivating a winning attitude. Physical health and mental health are closely linked. A short walk, A yoga session or a workout can boost your mood, clear your mind, and energize you for the day ahead. Don't forget to practice kindness and empathy, not just towards others, but also towards yourself. Be as compassionate to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. This practice builds a foundation of internal strength and confidence. At the end of each day, take time to reflect. What went well? What could have been better? What did you learn? This reflection isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about recognizing your progress and areas for improvement. In the tapestry of life, our relationships and interactions with others form some of the most vibrant and meaningful threads. A winning attitude not only enriches our personal journey, but also significantly enhances our relationships and teamwork. This positive mindset can be the beacon that guides us in building strong, supportive, and fulfilling connections with those around us. Consider the power of positivity in relationships. When we approach our interactions with a positive attitude, we open doors to understanding and empathy. Positivity breeds an environment where communication flourishes, misunderstandings are resolved more easily, and connections are strengthened. It's like a warm, welcoming light that invites others to share, connect, and collaborate openly. Empathy is another crucial element. Understanding and sharing the feelings of others doesn't just deepen our connections. It also lays the foundation for trust and mutual respect. When we empathize, we step into another's shoes, see the world through their eyes, and in doing so, build a bridge of understanding. It's about listening not just to respond, but to understand, to feel what they feel and see what they see. In teamwork, a winning attitude manifests as collaboration and respect for diversity. Each team member brings unique strengths, perspectives, and ideas to the table. Valuing these differences, rather than seeing them as obstacles, can lead to innovative solutions and greater synergy. It's like a mosaic, different pieces coming together to create something beautiful and whole. Communication is the lifeblood of effective teamwork. With a winning attitude, communication transcends mere exchange of words and becomes a tool for building understanding and alignment. It's about being clear, honest, and respectful in our interactions, ensuring that every voice is heard and valued. Resilience in relationships and teams is also key. Challenges and conflicts are inevitable, but a winning attitude helps us navigate these with grace and strength. It's about finding constructive ways to address issues, focusing on solutions rather than problems, and emerging stronger from the challenges faced. Another aspect is the willingness to give and receive feedback. In a positive environment, feedback is a gift. It helps us grow, improve, and be better. It's about being open to receiving constructive criticism and also being willing to provide honest, helpful feedback to others, all in the spirit of mutual growth and improvement. Let's not forget the role of gratitude in relationships and teamwork. Expressing appreciation for others, acknowledging their contributions and efforts, fosters a culture of respect and recognition. It's about celebrating successes, big and small, and showing genuine appreciation for the role each person plays. Moreover, a winning attitude in teamwork involves leading by example. It's about being a role model in positivity, work ethic, and collaboration. When you lead by example, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positive attitudes across the team. Lastly, maintaining a balance between personal and collective goals is crucial. It's about aligning individual aspirations with team objectives, understanding that the success of the team elevates everyone. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels valued, understood. As we foster these attitudes in our interactions, we not only enhance our personal well-being, but also contribute to a more harmonious, productive, and fulfilling collective experience. Let's remember, the quality of our lives is greatly influenced by the quality of our relationships. By cultivating a winning attitude, we not only elevate our own lives, but also enrich the lives of those around us. Let's strive to be the positive force in our relationships and teams, the one who uplifts, inspires, and brings out the best in everyone. In doing so, we create a legacy of positivity, collaboration, and mutual success. In life's grand journey, challenges are inevitable. They are the mountains we all must climb, the storms we must weather. But within these challenges lies the seed of growth, resilience. Resilience is not just the ability to withstand adversity. It's the power to turn these challenges into stepping stones for growth. It's the inner strength that allows us to emerge not just unscathed, but stronger and wiser from our struggles. Think of challenges as the universe's way of testing our resolve, our commitment to our dreams and goals. When faced with difficulty, we have two choices: to bow down and be overwhelmed, or to stand up and face it head. It's in making the latter choice that we find our true strength. It's like forging steel. The fire makes it stronger. But how do we cultivate this resilience? First and foremost, it's about mindset. When confronted with a challenge, view it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. It's about asking ourselves, what can this situation teach me? This shift in perspective can transform obstacles into opportunities. Another key aspect of resilience is embracing change. Change is constant, but our response to it defines our journey. It's about being adaptable, flexible, and open to new possibilities. When we embrace change, we open ourselves to new experiences and opportunities for growth. Let's also talk about the importance of support networks. No one goes through life alone, and in times of difficulty, it's crucial to lean on others. Whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, having a support system can provide the strength and encouragement needed to navigate through tough times. Self-care is an essential part of building resilience. This includes taking care of our physical health through exercise and nutrition, as well as our mental health through practices like mindfulness and meditation. A healthy body and mind are our greatest assets in facing life's challenges. Another component is the power of reflection. After facing a challenge, take time to reflect on what you've learned, how you've grown, and how you can apply these lessons in the future. Reflection turns experience into insight and wisdom. Let's not forget the value of persistence. The journey through adversity is often a marathon, not a sprint. It's about taking one step at a time, keeping our eyes on the goal and not giving up, even when the end seems far away. Optimism plays a crucial role too. It's about maintaining a hopeful outlook, believing that good things will come. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of the situation, but choosing to focus on the potential for positive outcomes. Lastly, gratitude can be a powerful tool in building resilience. By being grateful, even in tough times, we shift our focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. Gratitude brings light into the darkest of situations. In summary, challenges are an integral part of life, but with resilience, we can not only overcome them, but also use them as catalysts for growth and development. It's about maintaining a positive mindset, embracing change, relying on our support networks, taking care of ourselves, reflecting on our experiences, persisting through difficulties, staying optimistic, and practicing gratitude. As we face the challenges that life throws our way, let's remember that these are not just obstacles, but opportunities to test our resilience, to grow stronger, and to prove to ourselves what we are capable of. Let's approach each challenge with the knowledge that it is a chance to develop our character, to hone our skills, and to prepare ourselves for the next chapter in our life story. Let's remind ourselves that the most beautiful views come after the hardest climbs. Each challenge we overcome is a testament to our strength, a badge of honor that we carry with us into the future. So let us face each challenge with courage, embrace it with resilience, and move through it with the confidence that we are growing, learning, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. In doing so, we not only overcome the challenges themselves, but we also inspire those around us to do the same. We become beacons of hope and strength, showing that no matter the difficulty, we have the power within us to rise above and emerge victorious. The winding roads of life, the importance of a winning attitude becomes ever more apparent. This attitude, a blend of optimism, resilience, and determination, isn't just beneficial in fleeting moments. Its effects are profound and long-lasting. The long-term benefits of a winning attitude are like the roots of a tree, providing a stable foundation for sustained growth and success. One of the most significant benefits of a winning attitude is enhanced resilience over time. Life, as we know, is unpredictable, filled with its fair share of ups and downs. A winning attitude arms us with the strength to face these challenges head-on. It's like an inner armor that protects and strengthens us, allowing us to bounce back from setbacks more quickly and with greater resolve. Another lasting benefit is the development of a positive mindset. This isn't about ignoring life's problems, but rather about approaching them with a mindset that focuses on solutions and opportunities. Over time, this positive outlook becomes second nature, influencing all areas of our lives, from our personal relationships to our professional endeavors. It's the difference between seeing life as a series of insurmountable obstacles and viewing it as a path filled with opportunities for growth. Then there's the impact on personal and professional relationships. A winning attitude fosters positivity, empathy, and understanding, qualities that are fundamental to building strong, healthy relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who exude positivity and confidence, making a winning attitude an invaluable asset in both personal interactions and professional networking. In terms of personal growth, a winning attitude encourages a mindset of continuous learning and self-improvement. It propels us to seek new experiences, to learn from our mistakes, and to strive for personal excellence. Over time, this attitude cultivates a rich tapestry of knowledge and experience, making us wiser, more rounded individuals. From a career perspective, a winning attitude can be a game changer. It leads to higher levels of motivation and commitment, driving us to pursue our goals with vigor and determination. This attitude often translates into better performance, increased productivity, and, consequently, greater success in our professional endeavors. Furthermore, a winning attitude contributes significantly to our overall well-being and happiness. By focusing on the positive, embracing challenges, and maintaining a resilient spirit, we enhance our mental and emotional health. This positive mental state, in turn, can lead to better physical health, as stress and negativity are known contributors to various health issues. Another long-term benefit is the legacy we leave behind. Our attitude not only shapes our life, but also influences those around us. By embodying a winning attitude, we set a positive example for others, be it family, friends, or colleagues. We become a source of inspiration, encouraging others to adopt a similar outlook in their own lives. Lastly, a winning attitude opens the door to new possibilities and opportunities. When we approach life with optimism and confidence, we're more open to taking risks and seizing opportunities that we might otherwise have overlooked. This can lead to new adventures, new experiences, and paths we never thought possible. Lasting legacy, too, new opportunities. The impacts are profound and far-reaching. Cultivating a winning attitude is like planting a seed. With time, care, and persistence, it grows into a tree that stands tall and strong, weathering the storms and basking in the sunlight. Let us therefore embrace this winning attitude with open arms. Let us nurture it, cultivate it, and watch as it transforms our lives in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. Let's remember that the power to shape our future, to create a life of fulfillment, success, and joy lies within us. With a winning attitude, there are no limits to what we can achieve, no dreams too far out of reach. So, let us step forward into our futures with this winning attitude at the forefront, confident in the knowledge that it will guide us to greater heights, deeper connections, and a richer, more fulfilling life. Let's carry this attitude with us always, knowing that it is the key to unlocking our full potential and achieving our greatest aspirations. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked upon today. We've explored the vast landscape of a winning attitude, uncovering the treasures that lie within its realms. This journey, rich in wisdom and insight, is not just about learning concepts. It's about transforming our lives. A winning attitude, as we've seen, is more than just a fleeting state of mind. It's a lifelong commitment, a way of being that influences every step we take, every decision we make. It's the compass that guides us through life's storms and the light that shines on our path to success and fulfillment. Let's remember, the power of a winning attitude is not just in the grand gestures or the monumental achievements. It's in the small, everyday choices we make. It's in the way we choose to start our day, the manner in which we face our challenges, the resilience we show in the face of adversity, and the grace with which we handle our relationships. This winning attitude is not a gift bestowed upon a select few. It lies within each and every one of us, waiting to be discovered and nurtured. It's a flame that can be kindled and kept burning through our actions, thoughts, and beliefs. It's an art that can be mastered with practice, patience, and perseverance. As we move forward, let's carry the lessons we've learned today in our hearts and minds. Let's be mindful of the impact our attitude has on our lives and on those around us. Let's strive to be the beacon of positivity, resilience, and strength, not just for ourselves, but for everyone whose lives we touch. Let's also be gentle with ourselves on this journey. There will be days when maintaining a winning attitude feels like an uphill battle. In those moments, let's remind ourselves that it's okay to falter, to feel unsure. What matters is that we pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and continue forward with renewed vigor and determination. In conclusion, developing and maintaining a winning attitude is one of the most rewarding endeavors we can undertake. It's a journey that leads to personal growth, enriches our relationships, enhances our career, and contributes to our overall well-being. So, let us step out into the world with this newfound wisdom, ready to face whatever comes our way with a winning attitude. Let's embrace each day as a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to be the best versions of ourselves. Let's remember, in the grand symphony of life, our attitude is the music we play. It's the melody that dances through our days, the rhythm that drives our actions, and the harmony that brings peace to our hearts. With a winning attitude, we don't just navigate life. We soar through it, reaching heights we never thought possible and experiencing joys we